If you like my narrations, or the music that I compose for these videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you'd like to see in future videos. With that said, enjoy the story. The way the world is set up, it wouldn't function without people like me. People stuck in the cycle of poverty, with every high-interest loan the banks provide, with every lottery company promising a chance at a win, with every check-cashing service, the monster continues to be fed. That's the way life has always been for me and the good folks I grew up around. I've worked a various assortment of odd jobs to help with my low income. I've done everything from chopping wood for families, to driving elderly folks to the doctor, to helping others rehearse for job interviews. So when I went to the internet cafe to check my email, it wasn't out of the ordinary for me to receive another odd job offer. Dear Porter, we would like to offer you an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. I am the director of a company called Osiris. We are currently working to assemble a group of people from all over the world for the experiment of the century. The experiment will last for exactly 1 year and is a great benefit to its participants. How would you like to live on a tropical island, with a fully furnished new home and regular salary? And to top it off, you would get paid a hefty amount just for your participation. If you're interested, please contact us immediately so that we may get you started on the interview process. From everyone at Osiris, we hope to hear from you soon. Sincerely, Dr. Pleatas. I didn't have to think twice about it. I immediately called to find out exactly how much was a hefty amount of money. As it turned out, the amount was more than I could have ever imagined. It was $250,000. This really was the chance of a lifetime for me. It was a chance for a different life, a better life. In retrospect, I should have known that there was something amiss, but poverty only offers advice in retrospect. I was ecstatic when, after 3 days of interviews, I was contacted by the Osiris team to let me know that I had been chosen as one of the participants. As I prepared myself for the adventure of a lifetime, I had no idea what awaited me at the tropical island. Before I get into my experience in the simulation, let me ask you a few questions. How would you like to live in a world where you got what you deserved? Imagine a place, a society, where everything you say and do is not just evaluated but also rated by your government. In this world, everything you purchase, every movie you watch, every song you listen to, every friend you choose, every food you eat, every good deed, every bad deed, everything is subject to the rating system. If your actions are deemed to be good, then you get access to the best of everything. It doesn't matter if you were born rich or poor. What matters is how you react to the world around you. This is a simulation. I was sitting on a chair under palm trees, in front of a stage that had a beautiful, pristine beach as a backdrop. Is this real life? I wondered. As I enjoyed the light breeze of the ocean, the colors of the sunset and the pina colada in my hand, a woman in a white coat took the stage. Positive reinforcement. She paused. Positive reinforcement and apparent conditioning. That is why we are here. For a long time, humans believed that the only way to get things done was by scolding, screaming, fighting, war. But after thousands of years of evolution, we have found that the opposite is true. Rewarding has proven to be far more successful in societies than punishment. Today, you join us to prove that this can be done with the society as a whole. Let me introduce you to my coworkers. My friend and my apprentice, Dr. Pleatas. He will explain to you a little more about the world we created here at the simulation. A round of applause welcomed a rather attractive man in his mid-40s with thick, black-rimmed glasses, also sporting a white coat. Hey everyone, thank you for being with us today. On behalf of everyone at Osiris, I thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to explain to you in layman's terms what this simulation encompasses. The governments of 8 countries have funded this experimental simulation. They want to know how beneficial it would be to implement a similar system in their societies in the imminent future. Over the next year, you will participate in a simulation of a social credit system. Every action you take will be monitored by Osiris. our highly advanced computer system, and then rated. Based on the rate of each action, your citizen credit score will either go up or down, or in some cases, stay the same. In the simulation, good behavior is rewarded, something that rarely makes a difference in this world. As an incentive, your good behavior will unlock more opportunities, more amenities, more access to the best that we have to offer here on the island. We want to reward you for being a good standing member of society. The wrist devices we have given you will help us better monitor your habits, as well as allow you to keep count of your citizen credit score. I'd like to introduce you to a group of women and men who will be helping out Osiris to keep order in our simulation. They are the official Osiris Security Guard, or OSG. A group of guards dressed in black entered the stage in formation. We clapped, not ever knowing what these people were really here for. They're here to not only enforce the laws of the simulation, but also protect all the resident participants of Osiris. Think of them as your very own police force, a friendly police force. And they're also here to enforce one of our most important rules. While you are a participant in the simulation, you cannot speak about your real life outside of the simulation. If you break those rules, you will be ejected from the simulation without pay. Now, with all that said, you may now turn on your wrist device, and I officially welcome you into the Osiris simulation. Be good, be kind, and all will be aligned. And with those words, we all begin our year in the simulation. You know those Saturday mornings in spring when you wake up and you can finally feel the warmth of the sun through your window? The first hints of summer are finally here. The weekend is just getting started, your bills are all paid, and you've got a little extra cash that you can spend on a good meal or a movie. That's what every morning felt like the first month in the simulation. Everything was perfect. They were right about many things. Good behavior was a great incentive. In the real world, I would have never managed to receive so many promotions in such a short span of time. By the end of the second month, I'd gone from working as a manager at a local coffee shop to an assistant at the Osiris central office. I managed to do all of this solely based on good behavior. I was very impressed with how the system functioned. I have to say, however, I did find some oddities in the simulation. For example, days seemed longer. There were no clocks allowed anywhere. Instead, we kept track of the day using our wrist devices. There was a wake-up alarm, there was an alarm for breakfast, one for work, one for lunch, and, well, you get the drift. So throughout my time there, I never really knew what time it was. That being said, days felt very long. Not in a bad way. To be honest, the first couple of weeks, I wanted time to go slow because I was enjoying everything. Life had never been this good to me. And poverty was long gone, and I dreaded the idea of going back to it. Another thing I found different was the food. Everything tasted so much better than anything I'd ever had before. After weeks of wonderful surprises in my taste buds, my conclusion was that poverty had not allowed me to taste the better things in life. Aside from those two small details that only slightly bothered me, life was swell. But, as I'm sure you already know by now, perfect doesn't last forever. One day, while I was working at the office, a young man came in looking a bit disheveled. This was not a common occurrence in a place where everything was as pristine as the water that surrounded it. "Hi, welcome to the Osiris Central Office. May I be of service to you today?" I asked the man. "Yeah, I'm here because I feel the local coffee shop is not providing fresh coffee," he said, handing me some papers. "Here's my official complaint. I was told I have to give an official complaint." "Oh, okay. Well, these complaints are normally filed through the clerk's office next door," I said, handing him back his papers. He pushed them away and said, "Can you please just take 1 second to look at my complaint?" I examined his face. He looked worried, an emotion that rarely existed in the simulation. I agreed that a quick look at the papers wouldn't hurt. It was a complaint about the coffee tasting better, nothing out of the ordinary. As I flipped through the complaint, a folded piece of paper fell on my desk. I grabbed it and was just about to hand it back to the young man when a group of OSG burst in through the office. "Hands up! Participant 562, hands up!" one of them screamed. The young man looked at the piece of paper in my hand, looked at me, nodded his head once, and then made a run for it into another part of the building. One of the OSG men approached me and asked me to hand him the stack of papers that the young man had given me. After I handed over the complaint, the OSG officer evacuated the building. As we stood outside, waiting for the OSG to come out with the young man apprehended, we were suddenly met with a horrifying surprise. We watched as the young man jumped from a 5th-floor window, landing in a splatter of human chunks and juices in front of me. I've never seen a human skull crack before. It was the most petrifying sound. I can still hear the cracking like a coconut on pavement. As I stood there, in shock and terror, I remembered what was tucked inside my fist. The folded piece of paper the young man had given me. Out of instinct, I opened it immediately. I felt my heart in my throat as I read the note. Handwritten letters, it said the following: "This is not a simulation. You have been here for 4 years."